Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Enneagram Type 3, and we're going to talk specifically about the subject how to get along with me, or how to get along with those threes in your life. You know, we're getting close to the holidays, and we're going to be maybe surrounded by friends and family and people in our lives, office parties, and if you have a three in your life, this might be a helpful guide for helping you know how to get along with them a little bit better. If you are a three, then I hope that this is encouraging to you and maybe points out some things that we could all work on, some great things about you, and maybe some opportunities for growth and development. Just a reminder, in the description below is a link to my website, tomlehue.com, where I do offer Enneagram coaching and support and encouragement for you, your marriage, whatever I can do to help, as well as a lot of different courses. There's a lot of on-demand courses available on Enneagram coaching and the like, and also every once in a while, a live course coming up on Zoom, which as the recording of this video, there is one coming up in January on Enneagram coaching. If you're interested about that, please check out my website. All right, let's talk about you type threes, the achievers, the performers, and I'm going to be looking at this book, The Enneagram Made Easy, and just looking at a list that's right here in this book. It's really simple. It's not very exhaustive, and there's probably better lists out there, but this would be a good place for us to start. I've also got some notes that I put up on my computer screen to help me remember some things that I wanted to remember. But let's talk about you guys. Now, first, let me just say, what a great personality type is type threes. I mean, think about it. Your whole goal in life, you could say, is just to be the best version of yourself. I mean, who can argue with that? Does anybody want to argue to become the worst version of yourself? Of course not. So that is a fantastic point of view, or a way of looking at life, is what do I want to aspire to? What do I want to achieve? What sort of person do I want to be? How do I set goals for myself and push myself to overcome obstacles and navigate through all of these intersections in order to be the best version of myself? That's a great goal. That's a very noble goal. So what could possibly be bad about that? Well, sometimes with the Enneagram, we learn that those things that are our strengths could be pushed a little too far, where they actually start to become negatives. For example, you might kind of lose yourself in these goals and in this focus on moving forward. You might kind of forget to be authentic to your own self, and maybe slow down and realize it's okay to just be a person. You don't always have to be achieving. Always be achieving. A. That's not right. Always be closing. That's what I was thinking of. ABC. But let's look at this list of how to get along with a type 3. And again, I don't know that I would put it in this order. And there's probably a few things that I would add. Well, there definitely are, because look, I wrote some things down to this list. But let's just look at a very simple book and see where it takes us and see what happens. Okay. There's no real grand plan or scheme here. It's just look at the page, talk about it, and see what happens. So let's look at the first one they list here. It says, leave me alone when I'm trying to do my work. Okay. Threes are very focused often on setting goals and pushing themselves and overcoming obstacles and challenging and meeting those challenges and those deadlines. And when you're in that zone, you probably appreciate it when people don't interrupt you, when they don't just plop down in front of you and talk about their vacations or talk about their, favorite style of music. Or you probably appreciate it when people allow you to stay focused on accomplishing your goals. My guess is you probably work very hard and spend a lot of time disciplining yourself to reach these goals. So whether that's in the gym, or whether that's in sports as an athlete, or whether that's as a real estate, what's the word? Agent, or whether, you're an accountant in a business firm, I'm sure you would appreciate it if people would respect your boundaries and not try to distract you or occupy your time with something that you might feel is less important. So respecting time and goals, respecting your time and goals. Threes often feel a pressure to perform, and they might have a very jam-packed schedule filled with appointments and filled with activities, and to be able to have their priorities maintained without people being sensitive and getting their feelings hurt allows the 3 to stay on track in order to accomplish their goals. So if you've got to communicate to a 3, you might focus on being clear and concise and deliberative and direct, and not take a lot of their time and attention. So maybe something like this: hey, I know you're busy, so I just wanted to take a second and share something that I think you might find helpful. Say it and then get out of there. Okay, so number 1 on this list is leave me alone and when I'm doing my work. Number 2 is give me honest but unduly critical, but not, okay, let me read that again. I went to college. Give me honest but not unduly critical or judgmental feedback. So give me honest feedback. Again, 3s, I think, want to grow and they want to see themselves as growing people. So they're not against growth. It's just like everybody, nobody wants to be criticized. And I'm sure, 3s, being a worth and value type, could respond pretty negatively to criticisms, especially when it's harsh or when it gets personal. And 3s could maybe lose their drive and determination and motivation if they're not getting the feedback, positive feedback, that they need from others. And again, it can be directed. It could be, critical, but not unduly critical. 3s want to improve. So let's just say provide honest and constructive feedback. I think that's fair enough. We could all appreciate that. Type 3s value growth and improvement, and they could see feedback as an opportunity to improve or an opportunity to grow rather than, just being criticized. Again, nobody likes to be criticized. So be honest, but avoid being harsh or too critical, because you could probably discourage the 3 or maybe get them angry, which is not necessary. So constructive feedback might tend to motivate them better, while negativity could discourage them. So you did great. Fantastic job on that paper. One thing that I might challenge you with, or one thing that I might tweak, but overall, super impressive work. Something like that I think would go a lot better than you suck and your work sucks. That's probably not going to go over very well. All right, number 3, help me keep my environment harmonious and peaceful. Help me keep my environment harmonious and peaceful. So while 3s are focused on pushing themselves and overcoming obstacles and working hard and being deliberate and accomplishing all these things, they might need some domestic support in their life. They might need somebody to help them fix dinner, or do the lawn or the dishes, or manage the kids a little bit. And I could see where 3s could get very distracted and discouraged if their environment is chaotic, not allowing them to focus on being productive. I could see 3s being great providers, great financial providers, and then wanting some help with those other things in life, like the domestic support, help with the kids, babysitting, maybe cleaning around the house and those kinds of things. Because I could see them, thinking, well, obviously I love you. Look at how well I'm providing financially. Look at how many hours I'm putting into my work. Look at how I'm, finishing up this school program so that we can get our family strategically to the next level. Right now, what I need from you is some more understanding and some more support in all of these daily tasks that have to be done so that I can remain focused on accomplishing my goals and moving us to the next level. So that doesn't mean you're not responsible to be a part of a family. I mean, we need you to be present to your own family. But I could see where a 3 would probably appreciate other people pitching in so that they can remain focused on the things that bring them more value or a greater sense of value. So help me keep my environment harmonious and peaceful. Keep away the distractions and the chaos and I don't have time for all the drama and hurt feelings, and manage that stuff because I want to stay focused on my discipline and on my work. Okay, next is don't burden me with negative emotions. Don't burden me with negative emotions. Threes can sometimes get stuck in like thinking and doing, thinking and doing, thinking and doing. I mean, thinking about what we should do and then thinking more about what we should do and then doing. And sometimes it can be helpful for threes to be pulled back into their emotions. Like, how do you feel about this? How are you feeling? And that can be some challenging stuff for threes, like it can be for sevens. It can be difficult to like feel your feelings and let yourself slow down long enough to process your feelings. And notice just the statement in the book is don't burden me with negative emotions. Again, I'm trying to accomplish something. I'm trying to rise above the obstacles. I'm trying to navigate through. And I don't want to be held back with all this drama and all this emotional stuff. And I don't really want to have to go there. And I can see where that could slow threes down and really feel burdensome, just like it might to a seven, for example. So, I think that maybe you could say, even though I don't want to be burdened by negative emotions, I think it's probably good to help a three slow down a little bit and relax, if nothing else. Even if you're not slowing down to process your emotions, even if you're not doing that, it might be good to help a three sort of slow down and relax a little bit more. Like maybe saying things like, you've done so much today. Maybe you should just take a coffee break and recharge. I really appreciate all you've done, but maybe you just need to take a break and don't feel guilty about taking some time off. You deserve it. You deserve some time off. So maybe join them in some relaxing activities, or in something that they enjoy, like going to the gym or cleaning their car or whatever it is. Maybe you could invite them to do something together that is more relaxing and not so achievement oriented. Taking a walk, watching a movie, riding a bike, just something that we might say for pleasure or for recreation. That could be a good thing for a three to start to allow themselves to have hobbies and recreation, those things that don't necessarily give you the feedback that you might be looking for. And let's see, next one is tell me you like being around me. Well, who doesn't want to hear that? Tell me you like being around me. Tell me you like me. Tell me you enjoy my presence. And this could include affection. Affection is all the non-sexual ways we communicate that somebody, is important to us. So text, cards, holding hands, if it's appropriate, physical touch, kind words, hugs, all of these things, if they're appropriate, just to communicate to this person that you love them and you value them as a person, and not so much always what they achieve, but just them as a person. Like you just like them and you like being around them. I think most people tend to respond pretty positively to that kind of attention. And then the last one on the list, which I think is probably the most obvious in my mind, I would have put it first. It's interesting that it was put last in the book, was tell me that you're proud of me and my accomplishments. Tell me you're proud of me and my accomplishments. I mean, think I'm working so hard. I'm pushing myself. I'm, giving up so many other things and disciplining myself. It would be great every once in a while if I had some positive reinforcement or some positive feedback from other people saying you're proud of me. And if you didn't grow up in a home where your parents or your family told you that they were proud of you, I really feel sorry for you. Hopefully you could change that dynamic in your family going forward. Like try to make yourself say that to people. And if you have a three in your life, try to say that directly to them. Say, hey, I'm really proud of you because of something you did or some way you helped us. I really appreciate the way you helped us, or the way the way you interact with other people. It's really awesome to see the way you interact with other people. Anything. Try to find something that you can spotlight that is good and amazing about another person, and then let them know that you see that. Like catch them doing something good and let them know you're proud of them. It doesn't cost anything to do this. I don't know why we're so hesitant. Well, it might feel weird. Okay, it might feel weird, but it might feel amazing. I mean, how would you feel if somebody said, "Hey, thank you for your work. Your contribution is really changed things for us. I'm super proud of your effort and super proud of your work." Or I'm proud of you being my dad, or I'm proud that you're my mom, or I'm proud that you're my son. I mean, these things we need to say, we need to hear these things. And threes, I mean, remember, they are clearly right in the center of that worth and value group. And you might make the difference, a night and day difference in a three's life by just acknowledging and reminding them that you see their worth and value and you appreciate what they have accomplished, and you giving them that positive feedback. Be a cheerleader. Be a little bit of a cheerleader. We all need that in life, and threes definitely need admiration. Admiration, words of admiration, and symbols of affection and appreciation. Threes need this stuff. We all need it, but threes really need it. They're working really hard sometimes, and to come alongside and acknowledge that work and be appreciative of it could make a big difference. It could like be oxygen in their lungs and help them feel loved and cared about. So let me know that you are proud of my accomplishments. Recognize my accomplishments. Celebrate my successes. When I come home and I say, "Hey, I was able to close a deal today," or "Hey, I was able to finish all my appointments today," or "Hey, I was able to make a sale," or whatever. Celebrate that. Don't go, "Oh, yeah, that's cool." I mean, it may not be important to you because maybe you're not wired the same way, but celebrate that accomplishment. Say, "Wow, that's awesome. Fantastic. Great job. I'm so proud of you." And watch that three smile as their like air flows in their lungs again. You might say, "Well, they shouldn't need that. People shouldn't need that. They should just do what they do because it's the right thing to do or because it's what they want to do." Well, okay, we shouldn't need a lot of things. We shouldn't need Pop Tarts and fried chicken, but we all need things in life. And it doesn't help for me to disdain your needs. It helps for me to understand your needs and to try to have compassion on you by giving you what you need in life. Because if you don't give people what they need in life, what are they going to do? The needs don't go away just because they aren't met. They might move away from you to people who will meet those needs. And not everybody who will meet those needs is really maybe people they should be moving toward. So you be the person that they're moving toward by having some compassion on the people around you. And if you have a three in your life, they need your recognition. They need your encouragement. They need your support. I know they look strong. They look so strong. They look so capable. They look so confident. They look so self-assured that you might think, well, they don't really need my 2 cents. But every quarterback needs a cheerleader, right? Every home run hitter needs a cheerleader. Actually, that doesn't make sense because baseball doesn't have cheerleaders. Why? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Why do you have it for basketball and football and not for baseball? I can see hockey, like I can see not having it for hockey, but celebrate their successes. Now, here's something I wrote down in my notes here. Type threes light up when their hard work is noticed. Type threes light up when their hard work is noticed. So celebrate their wins and their milestones with enthusiasm. Don't make their dog more happy to see them than you are. They walk in the door and the dog's like, "Ah, hey." Be as happy as a dog, at least, when you see people coming home. Be mindful of their need for validation. You say, "Well, they shouldn't need that." Remember, you're not a three, so you don't understand. I don't understand. But remind them of there's also joy in smaller wins or smaller measurable aspects of life as well. Like just, enjoying a nice day in the shade, or in the cold around a fire. Like those are important too. Just being there with each other. So, maybe saying something like this, "I'm so proud of you and you've achieved so much. You've worked so hard. You provide so well for us. And let's take a moment and just celebrate it. You deserve it." I might say it like this. I heard a three say this one time, and to me, it just sounds strange because I don't think this way. But, if you could think a little bit like this, like, what can I do today to help my three feel special? What can I do to just help them know that they are special? And to me, that just sounds strange because I don't naturally think that way. But I'm not in the worth and value group. And I think in the worth and value group, there is this desire to feel important or desire to feel special or needing to be reminded that you're special and important. So if you might think like that, like, how am I on this date with my three going to help them see that they are special? What's something I could do? Maybe it's a piece of jewelry that I buy, or maybe it's the way I plan or organize this date or the restaurant that we go to. What can I do to help communicate to this person I love that they hold a special place in my life? And I want them to feel special. I want them to feel a little bit singled out, like the spotlight is on them in a positive way. What can I do today to make them feel special? I also wrote down a couple of notes. Let me see if I can find them. Encourage authenticity. Um, you know, the best successful story starts when you're real and when you get real. And that can be hard sometimes for threes to remember that. The legacy that you leave is more about how you impact others, not just about the goals that you accomplish or the goals that you complete. Those can be things that maybe we need to remind threes of. But I mean, look at the cartoon right here. I mean, where is it? Right there. Okay. Praise me, and praise me twice, and praise me once again. Praise me once, praise me twice, and praise me once again. I didn't make this up. I didn't make up the Enneagram. I didn't make up this book. I mean, it's just interesting that that's the picture. So, what does it tell you your three needs? What if they don't get this from you? What if you just don't do this? What if you say, "Well, I'm mad at them," or "Well, they shouldn't need it"? Well, you might see them go a little bit dark. Remember, threes disintegrate to 9, and they might just get a little bit apathetic. They might lose motivation. They might lose drive and determination, get melancholy and sad, and kind of, withdrawn, like a 9, withdrawn. And it's amazing that you could have the ability to kind of like jumpstart this 3 again, like battery cables on a car, like restart that engine by just encouraging and praise me once, praise me twice. There's a couple more notes on this book at the bottom. It says threes at their best in a relationship value and accept their partners. They are playful, giving, and responsible, and well regarded by others in the community. Now, it says at their worst in a relationship, they could be preoccupied with work and projects. Yes, they could just be so focused on work that they can't leave that behind. So focused on overcoming goals, and obstacles I said that backwards. Overcoming obstacles and achieving goals that they just aren't really available to connect with you. They could be self-absorbed because you're thinking about, how do I accomplish this? How do I achieve this? I mean, you're still focused on yourself, right? Defensive, impatient, dishonest. Remember, the sin is deceit, right? So they could be a little cutting of corners, dishonest, and maybe even a little controlling at their worst. But we're not going to talk about you at your worst today. So maybe one other thing is, when you're talking to a 3, you might help them avoid comparing themselves so much with other people. It's kind of in their nature for 3s to be competitive, and you can't be competitive if you're not comparing, right? And the opposite of competing would be collaborating with people. Like, we're all working together. We're all trying to make this a better place. And realize a lot of us, like myself, are much more collaborative than I am competitive. I hated sports because I'm just not competitive. And it's also very boring and tedious and time consuming, and I don't get the point of it. But, I realize that sports are very important to many people, and there's a lot of lessons to be learned from sports, and one of which is the value of being a little more competitive. But recognize that not everybody's in a competition with you, and a lot of us don't see the world that way at all. Like, if I can help you with your sales, I'm more than happy to do that. I don't see myself as needing to judge myself based on your success. Your success doesn't mean anything to me. And I think that could be a blind spot for 3s. I know I just don't. If you're successful, I think so, fantastic. There's plenty of success to go around. And all of us, if we'd work hard and be disciplined, we could all potentially be successful. But your success doesn't make me feel anything about myself. It doesn't make me feel disregarded or, like I've dropped in any kind of value or status. I just don't feel that way. But I recognize a lot of people do feel that way. So I think helping your three avoid comparing themselves always with other people, comparing their lifestyle. My kids are in daycare and you're homeschooled. Are you better than I am? I need to find reasons why you're not better than I am, and that it's okay for me to put my kids in preschool, or it's okay for me to homeschool my kids and not go to work. I mean, I can see where threes could really be caught up in this conversation in their head all the time of, is the way my brother and his family does things, is that better than the way I'm doing things? And how does that make me look in comparison to him at the family get-togethers? And I could just see where you could spend a lot of mental energy worried about stuff that nobody should spend a lot of time thinking about. But that's my opinion. So, you bring such a unique perspective to the team, and that's why your contributions stand out. You don't need to compare yourself with Charlie. Let Charlie do Charlie, and you just relax and do you. Keep your eyes on your own paper. Well, keep your eyes on your own paper. So, celebrate them, provide honest, constructive feedback, respect their time and goals, encourage authenticity, and recognize their need for success. I think that pretty well does it. I think that's pretty good. Um, One of the things I think we could all learn from threes is we could all improve. Whatever we're doing, whatever we're making as the goal of our life or the direction of our life, all of us have room for improvement. And I think that we should decide what sort of people we want to be, that we want to be the kind of people that are improving and working hard. And um, I think that those are some good lessons that maybe we could all learn from threes. I appreciate you guys. I'm here to support you in any way I can. If you want to work on some personal development and maybe some non-typical ways that you typically work on personal development, please reach out to me. I'd love to walk you through my coaching program, Present to Life, 12 weeks of intense focus on improving yourself, and maybe some ways that you wouldn't normally, according to your impulses, be inclined to improve yourself, to really slow down and really think about who you are as a person and what you really decide and define as successful. I'll see you guys next time. Check out this playlist and this video I'm recommending for you. And as always, be present to life. Take care, guys.